Man United versus Arsenal, Old Trafford, and it's the start of the season. We've all been looking forward to it. Well, I'd imagine we'd all be looking forward to it, but right now we have probably one of the biggest rivalries of all time in the Premier League, and it's going to kick off our season today. Well, tomorrow. But look, I'm not. I'm a bit nervous. I can't lie, because I look at Man United's team and I've seen where they've upgraded, and they've upgraded that entire front three, and that is a very dangerous front three to have. Cunha, Mbemo, and of course Sesko. A very dangerous front three to have. It's absolutely filled with talent, that. And whilst I wouldn't say that the Man United team's complete, it is something that we can't take for granted. Talking more as well, I did see the team coming out and heading over to Manchester, and it looked like absolutely everyone was available. Especially Zubimendi, thank God. I heard little rumours here and there that he wasn't seen on social medias and he might have been injured. Thankfully, that doesn't seem the case. But right now, I have to admit, Arteta's got a bit of a decision to make. Because he's got a few decisions to make, really. Does he start Gyökeres or Kai Havertz? Does Gyökeres play the full 90 minutes, or does Kai Havertz come on? How much time does Noni Madueke get? Who's going to start between Martinelli and Trossard? And also Mosquera as well. Like, will Mosquera get a few minutes? Because he looked absolutely phenomenal in the preseason, and it'd be a bit unfair if he didn't at least get a few minutes. But on top of that, there's also the question of, does Lewis Skelly start over Calafiori or the other way around? A lot of questions to be asked, but I'm curious to see what the team lineup's definitely going to be. And on top of that, I'm curious to see how Man United play. I haven't seen any of their preseason, so I don't know. I have no idea what to expect from them. All that I'm going to say is that we can't take them for granted, no matter what. We have to go in there, get the 3 points early. But let's get on to that starting 11. And in goal, David Raya. And look, I'm very critical of David Raya, I know. I just think with David Raya, good at shot blocking, good at catching the ball, but his ball distribution, his decision making, and the fact that he gets caught off the line so often really does concern me. If that keeps up, I'm going to have to eventually say that we need a new goalkeeper. But I'm not going to say that this early on the season. For now, it has to be David Raya, obviously. I want to see the centre-back pairing of Saliba and Gabriel. And I know Gabriel hasn't had much time in the preseason, but without Gabriel, the centre-back just doesn't look the same. And of course, Saliba as well. Calm as you like, even in dangerous situations, he just seems so on it. He's arguably one of the best defenders, maybe even the best defender in the world, depending on who you ask. But he's definitely exciting. And that is why I would say I want to see that centre-back pairing again. In the right-back position, I've gone with Timber. I think Jurrien Timber, in general, I prefer him defensively over Ben White. I still love the overlap play that we get between Ben White and Saka. I think that's a little bit better compared to Timber. But I still think Timber suits that role really well. And ultimately, I think he's too much of an important piece of this defence to let go of. And in the left-back position, I've personally gone with Calafiori. And my reasoning for that is I'm concerned about Lewis Skelly. He's an inverted player, and he inverts quite often into that midfield area. I'm concerned he's going to get caught on the counter on that. And knowing that these attackers that we have to go up against, I don't want to take anything to chance. I want to see the experienced defender going in, hopefully not inverting too much into the midfield, and hopefully we won't get caught on anything. Moving into the midfield, and after watching the preseason, I think everyone knew this midfield would be the best of the lot. But starting in the central defensive mid, I've gone with Zubimendi. Zubimendi looked absolutely brilliant preseason. Can't really say too much about it. The way he controls the ball, he looks so calm under pressure. His distribution, he gets the ball, and the first thing that he thinks is forward. And we've been lacking that for so long. That is what we need. So Zubimendi definitely to start, and alongside him Declan Rice. Of course, this centre-back pairing looks absolutely phenomenal. I would definitely want to see more of it when it's on the big stages now. And of course, it's going to be the captain, Martin Odegaard. A lot of people have been debating really whether Odegaard deserves to be the captain or not. I know Tony Adams did speak up about this one and saying that he's got to give the captain's armband to Declan Rice. But look, all I'm going to say is that the players voted by a milestone for Odegaard to be the captain. And I don't think we have any authority to decide over that. But look, if the players think that highly of him, they have to know something. But that's all I'm going to say on the situation. In the attack, I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka to start off with. Quite obviously, Bukayo Saka's arguably the best player that we have, or at least the best proven player that we have. In the striker position, I've gone with Victor Gyökeres. I think by now he would have had a bit of game time with us, kind of understood what we're about, and hopefully he can adapt, or at the very least the players around him can adapt. But we do generally look like a dangerous group going forward now. But now here's where we get a bit messy. The one area that is really our weak point, the left wing position. And look, Martinelli and Trossard are good players, but they're not what we need right now. We definitely need that final addition to that final third group. But for now, I've gone with Martinelli. I think his work rate, his pace, he'll run up and down the pitch for you. I think that will come in handy, and I do think he has a bit more defensive quality than Trossard. But saying that, I do think Trossard is better in the final third. So again, this is why I say Arteta's got a bit of a decision to make here. But one thing we can all definitely agree on is that left wing position needs to be upgraded. And whether that comes in the form of Eberechi Eze or Rodrigo, someone's got to come in and fill that position. Speaking of Rodrigo and Eberechi Eze, I did hear that Rodrigo is the number one priority, and Arsenal are waiting to see what's going to happen with that situation. It sounds like Rodrigo's going to go, but the question is, if he does go, does Arsenal pounce on that? Do we go in for it immediately, or do we wait around and start selling players? Which, let's be honest, we should be selling players anyways. But if we wait around too long, we're going to find ourselves in a very similar situation on deadline day, where we're just panicking. We're not getting the player through. We're not doing the business that we have to do, and then we wind up in a situation. But I have heard that we are well within the safety of PSR. And I mean, if we are, then the question is, if Rodrigo becomes available, what price are we going to pay? It's a lot of speculation out there right now. I'm taking everything I can with a pinch of salt, but I'd much rather hear it from the likes of Fabrizio Romero or David Ornstein or Sami Mokbel. Just a really reliable source. But anyways, that's it for now. Like, share and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. We have surpassed 75 subscribers. I did not imagine this would even happen in the start of my channel. Well, I say start of my channel, the rebranding of my channel, really. Um, but I didn't, in any scenario, imagine that would happen. But I'm definitely thankful for that. It may seem small, but it means the absolute world to me. But anyways, as I said, like, share, and comment, and please do subscribe. And I will see you in the match watch along for Man United versus Arsenal. Hopefully, going to Old Trafford and coming back with 3 points. That is the only way that we can start this season. I'll see you there.